Well, hey, how's it going, Forum? Great to have your company back again. You know, there's a lot of phone calls that I make that don't actually make the grade. There's a lot of calls that I do make that get shelved and never heard of again. Well, recently, YouTube decided to start censoring those people who are against the New World Order and those people who support Palestine over the might of the Israeli racist war machine. Well, if that's the way they're gonna play shit, then maybe I should bring out some of my big guns. Here we go with what is definitely the very first recording that I ever made, the first phone call that started the Steve Johnson episodes off. When I first heard about the bailout, that's right, the cash that was being handed out to all of these major corporations and banking cartels, I decided to give one call. I decided, hey, hold on, how come we've never heard about this? How come we don't know where this money's going to? So I decided to ask a question. I decided to ring up the Reserve Bank of Washington, D.C. and find out where was all this money going to. In fact, back in Bush's time, I was told that at least $100 million was reserved primarily for Bush's own personal expense account. And that pissed me off and basically started off my phone calls to companies. This was one of the very, very first phone calls that I ever made to an American company asking questions that they felt uncomfortable with. This is basically what started off Stop Funding Israel, especially when it happened just after December and during January of 2009. This indeed is the first call that I ever made to any company or to any government department concerning what you can hear is basically all about the Federal Reserve Bank and the bailout. The money that went to all of these corporations who are ripping off basic ordinary Americans. And what has happened to that cash? Well, trying to get a straight answer is a bit like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Have a listen now as I call them and try and speak to somebody to get some straight answers. What happens? Well, have a listen. It's incredible. And indeed, people may ask me, why would you do such a thing? Well, the fact of the matter is, who else has done it? Who else has actually called the American Reserve Bank and found out for themselves who got the cash, why they got the cash, and where the cash is actually headed? I haven't heard much. In fact, I've heard nothing at all from anybody who's made these kind of calls. So I did it myself to find out and indeed to investigate what has needed to be investigated by mainstream media. And of course, they've failed on the job. So why not do the call myself and find out where this cash has gone?
Hello, how may I direct your call?
Yes, hello, ma'am. Can you
Is anyone there?
Yes, ma'am. Can you put me through to somebody in the press release?
Sure, hold on. Public Affairs.
Yes, and a very good afternoon. Have you got time to answer a few calls, a few questions, ma'am?
No, I don't answer questions. I can put you through to someone.
Yes, please put me through to somebody who can answer some questions.
One moment. This is Susan Stalick in the Board's Public Affairs Office. If you'd like your call returned, please leave a message. If you're calling about a matter that won't wait, the main public... Operator, how may I direct your call?
Yes, ma'am. This is the third time I'm calling. Can you put me through to a human being who can answer some questions, please?
Public Affairs.
Yes, ma'am. This is the third time I'm calling. Can you put me through to somebody, not an answering machine, a human being who can answer some questions? That would be fantastic.
Well,
thank you.
Apparently she wasn't available.
What, there's no human beings there that can answer any questions? All you've got is automated robots that take messages? Can you put me through to somebody that's working there that is not on a lunch break? Please, ma'am. Is there nobody? Hello? Are you still with me? Are you still on planet Earth? Hello? Earth calling Federal Reserve. Anyone there? Are you there, ma'am? You know this is the height of rudeness. Can you please put me through?
Good afternoon, Federal Reserve. Lola, how may I direct your call?
And a very good afternoon. This is the fourth time I'm calling. I'm asking for a human being to answer some few questions, if I may.
Few questions regarding what, sir?
Well, ma'am, the current bailout would be a good start.
Okay, I can transfer you to Public Affairs.
Well, I keep getting put on hold. I keep getting transferred. I keep getting switched off. I keep getting transferred to voice messages.
You can speak with a live person. When I transfer you...
Well, there's no live people available to answer any questions.
A live person will come on the phone and speak with you.
Well, ma'am, this is the fourth time I've gotten nobody. I've gotten an answering machine. The fourth time I've been hung up from.
I'm going to do a conference, okay?
Do you just hang up on people? Is that your standard?
I hang up on you. I'm going to do a conference with you and the other line and see if someone picks up. If no one does, I'm going to have to redirect you. So I'm going to stay on the line with you.
Well,
okay?
I'm waiting for the fourth time.
Public Affairs.
Yes, ma'am. I'm hoping to speak to a human being. Can you put me through to somebody who's actually there without hanging up on me this time?
Well, I had you on hold and nobody's available.
You had me on hold and nobody's available. You mean to say everybody's at lunch right now?
I had you on hold and no one was available.
Are you saying that there is nobody in the Federal Reserve right now? Nobody's looking after the place?
I don't know. I'm talking about this office, the office that you called.
So you're saying that there's nobody there right now?
Just what I just said, yes.
What time is a good time to call back when there's somebody there?
I couldn't tell you that.
Oh, really? Why can't you tell me that, ma'am? Is that classified information? Hello? You see, this is what happened before, operator. I've actually this is the fifth time now. Hello? Is anybody there? This is actually being recorded for coaching purposes. I hope you know that. It's going out live at the moment, right here on radio. Do we have anyone alive at the Federal Reserve? Well, this is getting more remarkable by the minute. I hope you're standing by, listeners.
Good afternoon, Federal Reserve. Lola, how may I direct your call?
Yes, Lola, this is the fifth time I'm calling back, and apparently every single time there is nobody to answer my call. I get put on hold, and the person who puts me on hold doesn't answer any questions. Nobody wants to know anything, and I'd like to know what exactly is going on down there. Is there anybody there at the Federal Reserve at all?
As the operator, I did what I was supposed to do. I transferred you. I made sure a live person answered.
Oh, ma'am.
Once I transfer you, if they put you on hold or give you the runaround, I can't control that.
Well, ma'am, could you put me through to a different department? Is there anybody else there that is not en masse at lunch at the moment, or out in a meeting, or everybody seems to be
you to the chairman's office?
Everybody seems to be unavailable at the moment. Is there anybody actually there at the Federal Reserve?
I'm here. I can transfer you to the chairman's office.
Well, somebody would be good to answer my call. It's good to... Damn.
Good afternoon, Chairman's office.
Yes, and a very good afternoon, ma'am. How you going?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fantastic. I was hoping to get a few answers. I'd just like to ask a few questions, if I may, about this bailout that's going on at the moment.
Okay, let me transfer you to someone.
Well, ma'am, I've already been transferred to about 5 different departments. I've called up. This is my 5th time I'm calling, and every single time I get transferred to either a voicemail or I get put on hold, and nobody's actually in the office at the moment. So is there anybody there that I can actually talk to, as in, i.e., that is, a human being that is actually there and not out at lunch at the moment?
Well, I can't guarantee that they're not at lunch. I don't know what everyone's lunch schedule is.
Really? You don't actually know if there's anyone there at the Federal Reserve?
We have 3,000 employees, sir. I can't tell you if someone is at lunch.
Wow. You mean to say to me that 3,000 employees all go out to lunch at the same time, so every time somebody calls, there's nobody there to answer any questions? Fuck. To hear the rest of this phone call, click on part 2 right now.